Hey there. On your warm-up, the first question was to write the equation in standard form. Standard form means that the exponents go in order from biggest to littlest. So in this case, our biggest exponent is a 3 when we have x cubed. This is going to be y equals. Okay. The next biggest exponent is a 2. We've got negative 2x squared. The next biggest exponent is just a 1. We've got 3x. And the next biggest exponent is none. So we've got a 4 plus 4. What's the leading term? Well, the leading term is the one that's written first in standard form. So that's the monomial with the biggest exponent. What's the degree of the leading term? 3. What's the leading coefficient? Well, I don't see a number there. So that means that the multiplier is 1. We have 1x cubed. What's the degree of the polynomial? The degree of the polynomial is the degree of the leading term, which would be 3. Next, you're supposed to simplify 3x minus 2x squared plus 4 plus 4x squared plus 2 minus x. Since this is a plus sign, we can just write down 3x minus 2x squared plus, oh, I'm almost out of room, 4 plus 4x squared plus 2 minus x, because those parentheses aren't really doing anything. Let's see, I have some x squareds. I have 4x squareds and negative 2x squareds. That makes a total of 2x squareds. I have some x's, negative x and positive 3x, makes plus 2x. And then I've got constants. I've got 4 and 2 makes 6. Now, when I subtract these same polynomials, I'll get something slightly different. Whoops. I can't do that. Or that. How do I erase? I'm in a new app because I'm trying to record. Okay, try again. There's an invisible 1 here, so I have to distribute my negative 1. If you try and subtract, you're going to make stupid sign errors, almost certainly. So 3x minus 2x squared plus 4, and then I've got to write, when I distribute the negative, negative 4x squared, and then the opposite of 2 is negative 2, and the opposite of negative x is positive x. Okay, now I can combine my like terms. I have negative 4x squared and negative 2x squared, making negative 6x squared. I have 3x and x, making 4x. And I have 4 and negative 2. 4 and negative 2 makes positive 2. And that's the warm-up. So the last thing I'd like to do with you before I turn you loose on other videos is demonstrate 2 ways of multiplying polynomials. And my examples are going to be multiplying binomials, but later you're going to be multiplying even bigger polynomials like trinomials. So one method is called distribution. And you just think that everything in one set of parentheses has to multiply everything in the other set of parentheses. N minus 1 times 2n minus 2. If you come from a country where they do trick-or-treating, every kid visits every house. So n is going to go visit 2n. N times 2n is 2n squared. And then n has to go see negative 2. N times negative 2 is negative 2n. Okay, now n's done. Negative 1 times 2n is negative 2n. And negative 1 times negative 2 is positive 2. Then the last thing you do is you combine your like terms. We have negative 2n and another negative 2n. So that's 2n squared minus 4n plus 2. This is the method I usually use for multiplying binomials, especially when I'm in a hurry. The other method that I'm going to show you is called the box or area method. So what you do is you draw a box, and as many terms as you have in your polynomials is how many rows you need and how many columns you need. So if I were multiplying a binomial by a trinomial, I'd need to add some extra stuff, but I'm not. This is just a binomial times a binomial, so I needed 2 spaces by 2 spaces. So I'm just going to put, and it doesn't matter which one goes on the top and which one goes on the side, but I'm going to put one of them on the top. So I'm just going to put n minus 1 on top. So I've got an n and I've got a negative 1. And my other binomial is 2n minus 2, so that's a 2n and a negative 2. And you might remember when you were much younger learning your times tables, this is kind of like a little times table. So in each spot, you multiply the things that are on the edges. So 2n times n makes 2n squared. 2n times negative 1 makes negative 2n. N times negative 2 makes negative 2n. And negative 1 times negative 2 makes positive 2. And you'll notice that these are the same numbers we got before. Crazy how that works. And these are like terms, so we can combine them. So we end up with 2n squared minus 4n plus 2. And you're probably looking at this going, Ms. Claypool, this is such a pain in the butt. Why would we ever do this? Here's the thing. Distribution is lovely and fast, and it starts becoming a gosh darn mess if you have to multiply trinomials. So if you start to do trinomials, it is well worth your while to start using the box method. And so I'm going to make you practice both of them so that you will have those tools available to you. Let's do it one more time. I'm going to do this using both distribution and the box method. So using distribution, 2x minus 3, 3x plus 3. Well, let's see, 2x times 3x, 2 times 3 is 6, x times x is x squared. 2x times 3, 2 times 3 is 6, and we've still got the x. Negative 3 times 3x makes negative 9x. Negative 3 times 3 makes negative 9. Combine my like terms, 6x squared minus 3x minus 9. On the other hand, I could do the box method. So let's see, I've got 2 terms by 2 terms. So 2 by 2, 2x, negative 3, 3x, positive 3. 2x times 3x is 6x squared. 3x times negative 3 is negative 9x. 2x times 3 is 6x. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. These guys are like terms. So I have 6x squared minus 3x minus 9. 2 different ways to do the same operation, and it's okay to have a favorite, but you're going to get to practice both on tonight's homework. The last thing I'm going to have you do is watch a video on factoring, so yeah, you'll get to take a look at that.